Welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range Podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley, and as always, welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range Podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. As always, I'm joined with my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg. How's it going today, buddy?
Man, it is going great, Mark. You know why? Because you, the viewer, listener out there, is tuning in and giving us your most precious commodity, your time. Greatly appreciated to move us up the top 2.5% of all podcasts globally.
Unbelievable. Yeah, man.
Dude, we couldn't do it without you. You know, if you're a first-time listener, whatever, dialing in, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a rating review. Just help us boost up. And, hopefully, I'm sure before long, we'll be in the top 1%. But really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like what you're hearing, tell your friends and family. Help get the word out there. And then, oh, by the way, if you want to support the show, make sure you guys go to patreon.com/On the Range Podcast. Early access to all the On the Range Podcast episodes, Vantage Point, War HOGG Words of Wisdom, and yes, a Zoom call with me and Mark. We're going to shoot for twice a month, varying times, because you know what? We've got patrons all over the world, and we're trying to accommodate the different time schedules. So for all those patrons out there, appreciate your support. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And yeah, man, let's get this thing rolling, Mark.
Wherever you are, wherever you're at, thank you for making this part of your day. And today, the episode is brought to you by True Classic Tees. Visit trueclassictees.com. Get one of these shirts like the one I'm wearing right now. Rick is outfitted with a bunch of shirts as well. We got some hoodies coming in for the fall. Go check them out at trueclassictees.com. They fit the shoulder snug, make you look all buff, little extra room in the middle. Your lady friends are going to enjoy it, and they're going to love you for it. So go check them out and check out all the products. They got a lot of good stuff, a lot of colors, super soft, just great shirt. I rock the V-neck a lot of times. Rick is a crew neck guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a V-neck guy when I'm like wearing jeans or whatever, but man, they're great products, man, and they do a lot of outreach as well. So just go check them out at trueclassictees.com. So Rick, just like everybody else, I'm sure you've been following this story, and it's an absolute tragedy, and I wouldn't want to wish any of this on any of the parties involved, but I think it's something that our listeners probably want to hear our take on it, because it's kind of in our wheelhouse, and we have it's just an absolute, there's nothing good that's coming out of this, nothing.
No.
And it's just a shame, and everybody I think knows what we're talking about. So why don't you go ahead and let's kick this painful but necessary conversation off.
Yeah. So, it's all stemming around the shooting on the set that Alec Baldwin was on, filming this latest movie out in New Mexico. And, again, there's a bunch of unknowns, right? So there's some speculation, there's some things going on. But long story short, he was handed, I'm guessing a loaded firearm. I think is, I don't think anyone has said anything other than a bullet came out of the projectile, or a bullet came out of the barrel. Wasn't like a plug or something like that, to the best of my knowledge. But long story short, one crew member was killed. Another one was wounded. Again, wish it on nobody. I believe totally could have been, that accident did not need to happen if some certain things were put in place. But you know what? Here's the bottom line, man. It's one of those that Alec Baldwin has been a person that has thrown law enforcement under the bus for having mistakes happen in high stress situations. And if you want to say anti-2A, expressed how he doesn't like firearms, yet he will use them for his profit. And that's where the hypocrisy comes in with this whole thing. Again, I don't wish any bad intent towards him, but I'm going to stop here and I'm going to chat for a couple minutes and just some food for thought. So first of all, you've got, an anti-Second Amendment guy that badmouths the cops that's using firearms for his own benefits. I would say probably knows nothing as far as firearm safety goes, but he'll use the tool. So again, just a quick refresher for the viewers, listeners out there. 4 rules of firearm safety. Number 1, treat all firearms as if they were loaded. However, know the status of your firearm. Key point that was missed there. Never let the muzzle weapon cover anything you're not willing to destroy. Don't push your finger on the trigger until you have an acceptable sight picture and identify your target, what's in line with it, what's behind it. Never shoot at anything you have not positively identified. So again, what does Rick know about movie sets, movie industry? You know what? Quite a bit. Why? Because I operate on them kind of all the time in various different levels. I don't shoot blanks. I shoot live fire when I'm doing my stuff. But here's the bottom line. If Rick is doing something where I need to point my weapon potentially in that direction of an individual, here's the simple protocols. I verify my magazine's empty. I show the crew member or whoever's working that camera that it's empty. I sit there, verify my chamber is clear, show him the chamber's clear. We just negate all that stuff. I personally believe that this accident could have been negated from the get-go. Now, how do you negate it? How is live ammo out there? I don't know. Is Alec Baldwin potentially a closet shooter that likes to go out and shoot wheel guns, but
maybe
spouts to his friends that
I don't know.
In the party circles, he's anti-2A. I don't know. Part of the burden, these firearms come from prop houses, and if you're not familiar with the prop house, basically there's a couple large studios around the country, and they supply all these movie sets with different props and firearms and stuff like that. Why in the world would you I don't know of any movie that would require live fire. Because trust me, the things that we have done before, we have quote unquote shot things. There's movie magic behind the scenes that all that happens. So, but again, if you're not a gun savvy individual, because regardless, here's the deal. We both work in a world where we've worked with either simunitions, UTM, some type of paint marking round, right? Did you arbitrarily just take a gun from somebody and go, yeah, it's good to go. Here you go. Nope.
No.
I'm the inspecting the firearm, right? I'm loading all my magazines to ensure that I'm not putting live ammo in there. So, don't get so high on your horse that you think you're holier than now, that why wouldn't you do your own safety check? So to me, if I was working on the set, and for all my movie people out there, pay attention. This would just be Rick's protocol, right? I don't care where your actor sits at as far as his stance, pro, to, against, whatever. I'd say if you're anti-gun, you know what? Don't use them. Don't be a freaking hypocrite and use that tool for your benefit. First and foremost, to all of you out there in Hollywood. Second, I would say, hey, if you are going to use firearms on set, at least Keanu Reeves went out and got some training for the whole John Wick series, right? Hats off there, actually shooting live ammo, understanding firearms manipulation, safety, all that other stuff. That should be the number one standard, in my opinion, for the entertainment industry. If you are going to handle a firearm, you're getting some type of class on firearm safety. I don't care what your stance is. If you're going to sit there and go, hey, I'm anti-gun, cool, you'll never touch one again. Boom. Makes it easy, right? But if you are, get some training on it. That's rudimentary 101. I got it. Wheel gun or revolver, fairly easy for the most part, right? But him using probably, an 1800 style revolver would be my guess. I'm not exactly sure of the time frame. Not sure if it was a cap and ball, if it was supposed to be an actual.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of information about the actual prop
I don't know. I don't know the firearm particularly used, right? Yeah. So we'll negate all that stuff. But here's the bottom line. Let's just say, for those of you out there, you understand a basic revolver, it's a cylinder. You put your bullets in there and load them, right? Well, if I've got no education, do I really know what a blank looks like compared to a live round? None the wiser.
Probably not. No.
Nope. It all looks good to me. You're the professional. Because the way I understood it, they have some magic buzzword. It's a cold gun, hot gun, whatever their word is. But Alec Baldwin did zero to, in essence, supervise whoever the quote unquote professional armorer out there that rumor has it has had some prior incidences on set.
Yeah, we'll talk about that person a little bit as well. Not a ton.
No, but it's all compiling, right? But at the end of the day, to me, it goes into, it's no different. If you look at the 4 rules of firearm safety, treat all firearms as if they were loaded. And I add, and I'll throw it straight out, that's something Pat Mack I got from him, know the status of your firearm. Okay. So in essence, if I'm sitting there on set, I should know, boom. Okay. And I've worked with some of these actors and actresses, right? They just, here you go. It's good to go. And they're none the wiser, right? But I would say the culture of that entertainment industry needs to change, and you need to understand what type of firearm you have, what's being loaded in there. And I think the burden goes on the individual actually operating the firearm that needs to see, or they load it themselves. I got it. You can't figure out how to use a revolver and load it. Okay, cool. Here you go. Confirm blank. Yep. Drop it in the cylinder. Confirm blank. Yep. Confirm blank. Drop it in the cylinder. I mean, you're getting double checks, right?
Yeah.
The other part I can't figure out is why are they pointing guns at, camera, individual, whatever, right? So we're violating, all the rules of firearm safety has just gotten canned. So again, when you do things on a movie set that can potentially be hazardous, there's either the camera's remote, it's just rolling. I mean, this day and age, we're not doing film. You can burn cards all day long. So there's no reason to put a human being potentially in danger. So I would be curious, why are you going to aim at the lens, I guess, and pull the trigger with somebody there?
With the limited amount of information that everybody has, including myself, I can almost guarantee that they had zero idea that thing was loaded. Zero. And I know. But what I'm saying is we all know that the protocol should have been gone through every time, even though they knew it was going to be a cold gun. They should have checked it just like they would have when they were loading it to go hot, because the talent is going to have to rehearse. We all understand that the camera angle is going to have to be set up. Now I haven't been on as many sets as you, but I've been on a number, and it was always pretty much the armor, the prop guy. The armor would go to the one of the assistant directors or the director, and kind of go with what they were going to try to go for. Then they would get with the guy. I can't remember what they call the guy who holds the camera, not the cinematographer, but there's another person.
Camera guy.
Yeah. A grip or something. Key grip. They would check with them, and then they would go to the talent and go over it with them and show them. And each person, they would demonstrate what was being loaded, how, and all that it was empty or whatever. I can almost guarantee that none of that occurred. None of that. So when Alec Baldwin gets the prop, which, hey, let's face it, this is a gun. He gets the gun. They can call it a prop. They can call it a prop gun. They can call it whatever you want. This is a firearm.
Well, yeah, and let's clarify, right? Because I'm going to pause you real quick.
Yeah.
So to me, a prop firearm is what we would know as a rubber duck, right? So if you look at, they do use those at times.
Yes, a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a non-functioning firearm. It looks like it usually made of rubber, could be plastic, right? But it's made to replicate.
Yeah.
Whenever you're doing something to get the flash and the bang, all that other stuff, it is a firearm that is either functioning, and I'm pretty sure all the revolvers are, because I don't think they plug those. I know, I believe in their semi-autos, they plug them just to get, the guns to recoil and actually kick brass. And of course, they can put different blanks in there to give it more flash and everything else. So I just so we're clear, to me, he was handed a firearm.
Yep.
Not a prop. And even still, I don't like pointing anything at another person, right? Yeah. It's just bad etiquette in itself. But okay, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's a great point. And it's not a rubber gun or a rubber duck. It is a firearm. To catch everybody up, that Alec Baldwin was involved in an incident involving a firearm where a person was unintentionally shot and killed. And this young lady, Helena Hutchinson, was a cinematographer on the movie set of a movie called Rust in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Santa Fe County. And also, director Joel Souza was also struck by this bullet. And we confirm now that it was a bullet. It was some kind of a projectile. It wasn't a blank. It was a real ammunition, piece of ammunition. And it's just tragic. It's just tragic. You're right. The safety protocols go, whether they're getting ready to rehearse with a cold gun, which he was supposedly, allegedly told, they should go through those same checks just as they would as if they're getting ready to run the scene every time. And apparently, none of those folks that touched those firearms, and I'm thinking someone went straight to the table, gave it straight to Mr. Baldwin. That's what I think happened. Nobody checked it. He wanted to rehearse.
But Mark, I'm going to pause you, man, right? Because here's the bottom line. This is just Rick's opinion. It boils down to basically Alec Baldwin had no clue what I don't care if you, it's just like this, right? And we talk about this on the range all the time. I know you don't do it, but when I have my students, hey man, let me see your gun, right?
Yeah.
And they hand me a gun, might be a mag in, might be slide forward. Whoa, stop. And we have a quick class. Hey man, proper etiquette. If you want to say for me, if I'm going to pass a firearm to another individual, I don't care if it's unloaded or not. I'm pulling the mag out, opening the action. I confirm it's clear. They can see it's clear. Boom, we're done, right?
Yeah.
So you're not so high and mighty that you have lost your ever-loving mind to bet anything on somebody else.
You know what's funny about that though, Rick? But they are. Let's face it.
Dude,
they are.
I got it.
Yeah.
I get it. But this is where that culture needs to change.
Yeah.
Right? Because Alec Baldwin has clearly been an anti-2A guy. You know, he's clearly thrown the police under the bus, for some wrongdoings under high-stress situations, okay? Wow, dude, you had a zero-stress situation, and you couldn't even sit there and take literally 2 seconds to make sure the gun was clear.
Yeah.
And then you're pointing it at people pulling triggers, right?
Yeah.
Does not compute, man. Does not
I'll be
compute.
honest. Mr. Baldwin here is one of the executive producers. I'm going to tell you right now, him, director, assistant director, armor, and I don't know if I'd say that the camera operator, not the one that was shot, but the one who would have been working with that person, that would have been someone that would have had to have done a safety check as well. In my opinion, all these folks, would have taken one person to have half a fucking brain to look at that firearm, and none of them did it. None of them did it. It's a horrible accident, but 100% completely preventable.
But it just goes to show, Mark, right? You have an industry that will glorify guns on one hand for their selfish profit. Okay?
Yeah.
On the same flip token, when they're all back smoking and joking, they're pretty much smashing that right that we have.
Yeah.
And again, the ignorance is key. So you look at and I'll put the challenge out to the entertainment industry. Where are you going to get your firearms education, right?
Great point.
So if you're going to bring on another actor, and again, I would just say this: if you want to be 2A, quit being a hypocrite. If you want to bash my Second Amendment rights, you don't think I deserve them, cool. Beat it and don't use that firearm to make money. Because again, you're entertaining people, right?
Yeah, he just learned, and everybody involved who might have been anti-2A just learned that inanimate object didn't do anything.
Nope.
This was not a fit of rage. This was not in the wrong hands. This was not someone who's a criminal, someone who's down on the luck because everybody and their mom oppressed them. Yep. This is an inanimate object that didn't do a damn thing but get picked up by some jokers that were fucking around with it. Let's and here's the thing. Two things happen. Cross-pollination of the ammunition that they would have used for whatever type of gadget they're trying to achieve for the cinema of it. And then the target practice that they were allegedly doing just hours before. Yeah. That's what happened. And then they didn't just implement simple safety rules. No, had they followed one of those four that you've outlined, this wouldn't happen.
Just pick one.
Pick one.
One of them. If you applied one, but I guarantee you ask a single person on that set, hey man, give me the 4 rules of firearm safety. They'd be like, what?
Yeah.
I'll
tell you what, you would ask that armor, they wouldn't have known it. I guarantee. So I'm not going to judge a book by its cover. Or here, like, I mean, have you ever done this?
Oh yeah, my cross pistols. Oh yeah.
Again, don't get me wrong.
Smoke wagons.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's a good look, but
Sure.
I mean, this is the armor. Hannah Gutierrez Reed. Now, could have been. She's probably a terrific person. Come from a great. I don't know anything about her. I have nothing to say about her personally. Don't know her, but I'm not feeling professional armor taking everything serious on the set right now. I'm just not. And it's because everything happened. I get it.
Let's grab a quick hootie pick, with your blasters. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And all would have been fine had nothing happened. But again, you're like, all right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Go back. Where's that? Is that her? Go back to that other one with her holding the lever action.
Yeah, that's her as well.
Is that her?
Yeah, she's sporting the holster.
Yep.
I'd like to have that rig though. I got to tell you.
Well, but it's like even just looking at it's hard to tell from that picture, but just looking at her trigger finger, is it wrapped around the lever? I would want to see it over the action, but that's just me, know. So,
but terrible.
Here's the thing, man. Like I said, I have done things on movie sets before.
Yeah.
Shooting videos, live bullets, blank bullets. And if you want to say I was the armor, I mean, it's kind of this one-stop shop, right? But again, there's protocols in place. You segregate if you're going to have live ammo for whatever reason. And I don't see why.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
This particular set, why they would have live, but it's like it's a simple protocol. Stick that stuff up somewhere, and preferably a lock box that only you have the key. Stick it in your pocket, and you don't touch it till you're, gone off that set or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just, I'm sitting there going, all right, man. It boils down to this. Rick's opinion, the entertainment industry needs a complete overhaul on how they do their firearm safety.
Not only that, I think you got to get somebody, start hiring some of these guys like yourself and your friends who aren't doing War HOGG Tactical type stuff, and get these guys involved who are going to say, no, dummy, we're not going to go shooting the prop gun or the firearm that's going to be used in the set. We're not going to do that. So take your butt home. I'm not impressed by your fame. Go ahead and get out of here. She says, I think the best part about my job is just showing people who are normally kind of freaked out about guns how safe they can be. Guns are just guns. It's the person who's safe or unsafe.
Yeah.
And how they're not really problematic unless you put it in the wrong hands. Yeah, well, okay. I guess you're right. It's a shame. And we're quoting the New York Post article on October 28th if you guys want to check it out. But
here's the bottom line. At the end of the day, it has to, Rick's going to say this. The entertainment industry needs an overhaul. Okay? Figure out
some kind of standardized, something.
Yeah. Figure out whatever your actor firearms training 101 is going to be and implement it, right? And it probably would adjust, I would say, from set to set to set. So, okay, cool. If you're working, a Western, all right, what are my revolvers and lever actions, or maybe, double barrel shotgun, whatever you have, right? Yeah. It's going to be something of that flavor so you understand. Number two, a simple deal. Why is there any live ammo coming to set, right? Yeah. So if you think about this, whenever we're doing, sims training, force on force, whatever, and you're dealing with law enforcement guys, they're typically coming, in some cases, they're coming off the street, right? So you got your little safe area. All right, dude. download your firearm, leave your baton, taser, anything that can cause another individual harm, pocket knife, whatever you
like
leave.
if you have some kind of an edge weapon.
Yep.
You
All
leave that.
all
leave that
that's
here. Yeah.
Yeah. All that's being dumped in the safe area, right? Which is well away from the training area. So again, if they were doing some type of live fire training for whatever reason, I'm not sure. I would say this: if you're looking to do some type of firearms training, just let them shoot the blanks.
Yeah.
Work that piece,
Or dry fire.
or dry.
Yeah.
But excuse me, give them something so they know, identify. Sit there as part of the test. Here's a box of 20 bullets. Segregate live and blank. Right? So they at least know what they're doing. Hey, show me the cycle of operation on this revolver. How does it work? How do you check it? How do you clear it? Something. But there's got to be a check where, hey, I know, they know, that's good to go.
Yeah.
And then how about just write down the 4 rules of firearm safety?
Yeah.
Because at some point, if you know those or you can scribe them down on a piece of paper, you probably know them, that you can speak them. And then it's like, all right, cool. We're not going to have these dramas. But it's...
Yeah, draw it on a piece of a butcher block and hang it up behind your station or something. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
I mean, that should be rudimentary. And here's the thing. I wonder if they even did a safety brief.
Dude, I bet you they didn't do shit.
No.
I bet you
I'm
they
sure
didn't do nothing.
Nope. Here's your blaster. Go out there. Have a great day.
Yeah.
And
we've said it all the time. The higher up in expertise you go in any field, especially in military and in law enforcement, things tend to be, or the folks' attitude tend to be a lot more safety oriented. You think it'd be the other way around because we're so-called experts. No. These things are talked about we still do safety briefs. We've been doing this for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Yep. We talk those 4 safety rules all the time.
Well, it's funny because we asked the students, right?
Yeah.
And some, I'm not going to throw, my LE guys under the bus, but you got some guys can spout it off verbatim. Mm-hmm. You got some, here's the bottom line. 1 and 4, pretty much universal, right? 2 and 3, you can flip and flop. I'm fine with that. And even if you don't know, as long as you say true to all firearms, if they were loaded, cool. I throw in hey, how about we know the status? It's one thing to treat. Now we're looking at life and death. So there's some different twists. But again, that mere statement transfers over, I think, perfectly into this case. So yes, we didn't treat it as if it were loaded. And oh, by the way, we did not know the status. And typically in our world, if we don't know the status, it's usually unloaded. And that's when it would cost that officer or, U.S. service member their life, because now, boom, deadly force encounter happens. It comes up. You get a click versus a bang. In this case, it was a bang versus a click. And it's like, come on.
So, our hearts and prayers go out to this family. And you know what? Everybody involved, to be honest with you, it's a shame. I don't wish it on anybody, but it is what it is. It's completely preventable.
Yeah,
and it's
it was a catastrophic accident.
Yep,
that 100% could have been negated from Jump Street.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. And
it wasn't.
The other thing is that you've heard, and granted, this great state or this great country we live in, our states have certain rules and rights and things they can do. I don't know what New Mexico's ruling is.
No,
on manslaughter, which I'm sure, there'll be some type of manslaughter charge, but I don't see him walking away or some other people walking away unscathed from legal action on this.
I don't know.
I just, somebody had to be held accountable, for the negligence, because we ended up, a person lost their life.
Yeah.
In something that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
She should have been out there doing her thing, enjoying. I think there was a clip on there, her riding horses on, during one of the breaks, whatever they were doing, right? She's a wife, she's a mom. It's a whole ripple down effect. So you've affected, an entire network of people by one stupid preventable accident. And again, I would just challenge the entertainment industry. Firearms education, right?
Yeah.
First and foremost, educate your people.
Yeah.
And then if you are one of the actors or actresses out there and you're an anti, Second Amendment person, here's the deal. Just don't touch them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
So
It's a tough one. Tough story.
yeah.
Tough story. Hate to see it. But yeah, hopefully, you guys are out there. We preach dry fire all the time. This is an example of, we got to make sure that we're not cross-pollinating live ammo.
Because there's been enough people that have launched bullets when they thought they were dry firing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to knowing the status. They thought they were clear, somehow didn't pull the mag out, whatever.
Oh, I'm
And
good.
then
It's empty. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have been killed by empty guns.
Yep.
Yep.
Or cleaning their empty gun.
Mm-hmm. Maintenance.
Somehow it just,
unbelievable.
yeah.
So, well, great show, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Tough topic, but
Yeah.
hopefully we can.
No, it is a tough topic, Mark, right? But I hope it drives a point home.
Yeah.
Across the board, right? I don't care whether you're in the entertainment industry. I don't care whether you're concealed carry holder, or just a Second Amendment, supporter, whatever, law enforcement, military. It doesn't matter, right? It drives the point home. Firearm safety.
Yeah.
First and foremost, right?
Yep.
It's
Train your family members. Train them.
100%.
Things. Train them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and make sure they know them as well. And it boils down to, we can sit there and talk about these evil guns, right? Yeah. That gun did nothing. It needed human interaction to do something, which
not
it
until
did.
people who didn't respect it put their
Yep.
hands on it. That's when it went bad. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Sure did.
all right, buddy. Have a great rest of your evening, pal. And
man.
everybody out there, all the listeners, again, thank you for the top 2.5% globally in popularity. Couldn't have done it without you. And thank you for giving us your time. And be safe out there and get some training. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And thank you to our patrons, man, wherever you are in the world. Appreciate all your support.